I'm removing the radiator on this 2001 Lincoln LS V6 because it has a leak. And I'm using this all data website here showing me what to do. I'm using a 8 metric on here. I need to get me one of those little magnetic pans. I gave mine away. I need to get another one. I'll set this here. Got the same one on this side. Just in case I didn't mention it, this is 8 metric. I don't remember what I said that or not. I'm going to also remove this, clear this out of the way. using a 10 on this one here. Just gonna also, those pieces, years ago I put letters on these pieces here. Certain pieces here I put letters on them, just so that I would put them in the right spot when I reconnect them. I want to make sure that when you're moving this piece here, that to get this here, sometimes mine have fallen in here, and so remember this piece here. You grab hold of this before you move this so it doesn't fall in there. To get this piece off here, there's going to be 4 bolts. One that goes here, and you have one here and one here. That's supposed to be there, and you have one under here. It's kind of hard to see it, but it's in there. One right here. There you go. Both of these take a 10. Both of these 4 bolts here. I might as well get this off here. Just disconnect this. Got another little screw down here. As you can see, on here is another little screw that'll be coming off here. So I can disconnect this piece. Just enough to loosen this. Definitely, I want to be careful with this. I don't want to break it. Yeah, that's common sense. Get it off there. set this to the side here. It's good to have one of these in case you have a metal piece that drops somewhere below, because these things are pretty good. They've saved me a lot when my hand couldn't squeeze, and so they extend. You can see, I think it'll pick up about 15 pounds or so. So these are good little magnets to have when something falls below there. See, it goes pretty far out there. Look at that. So it's good, like something falls down there and your hand can't squeeze in there. It's good to have one of these little pieces. It's also good to have one of these too. This has also saved me. There's times where I remember one time where this little piece fell below and my hand couldn't reach. Of course, the magnet couldn't get this, and this little thing here helped. And it extends pretty far too. Not like it costs much. Yeah, so yeah, these are helpful. It's just disconnecting this upper radiator hose. Gonna disconnect this here. Let's see, hose disconnected on this little piece here. Has to be disconnected. And this here, see this up here, has to come off. Let's see something. This here takes an 8 here. Let me see, I want to make sure I'm not tightening it. Should be able to loosen it with my hand now. Well, still need this. I don't want this piece here to slip down in there. So I'm just going to take it and set it aside. This little piece here, as you can see inside there, it wasn't hard to disconnect this. Just use the screwdriver just to pull it apart. These also comes in handy too. I have 3 of them. I got them off Amazon. So at least, so these, like at night, if I have to work on the car, they're rechargeable batteries. People usually use them, I guess, for camping and hiking, different things, outdoor activity. And I use these for, I've been using them for about 5 years to fix on my car at night. Because one time I had one that was hanging, but it kept falling off the car, so I got frustrated. I went around the corner to Lowe's, and I saw one of these headlamps. I get mine off Amazon because I like how bright these are. This is like, I think about 1600 lumen. I have one that has for 1800 and one 2500 lumens. So you can get them for Walmart or Lowe's. They're not as bright, but they'll still do the job. Then both of your hands are free when you're working on your vehicle at night. So then you don't have to worry about, okay, it's about to get dark, so I better shut down and continue tomorrow. And you can still work on your vehicle throughout the night. Like I said, these here, they have rechargeable batteries, and they have different, so they can go low. This here is like for emergency if you're out there camping. So, and it also has a zoom lens on it. I'm trying to show you. So this also has zoom lens. Just bring it out. Like I said, I have another one. And so even during the daytime or whatever, if you need to look down in your vehicle somewhere, you want a more focused view versus a wide. And this here probably will zoom out about 100 yards, probably more than that. And so I just push this in if I want a wider view. This is the other one I got off Amazon. So this here has like a focus view, except it when you want it has a wider view, and this here turns though when you want a more focused view. So it's really helpful, like when you work on your vehicle at night. Here you can, with these at night, you can see the whole engine, and this here rechargeable batteries. And so these, like I said, I've been using these for years. And this also has like, mostly like I said, people use them for outdoor activity. Like if this is good if you want to get somebody's attention. Like I said, that little piece right there is the piece that I was disconnecting from the radiator with the screwdriver. Just come over here and see this little piece here. Yeah, I'll just connect this. Well, this doesn't need to, it's not like I'm taking a fan. I'm gonna trying to think here. Got a bolt right here on the fan cord that's connected to the radiator. I think there's one on, yeah, there's one on this side. Just have to find it. I think there's one. Should be. Don't know how else it would stay on there. Man, it's something how this light is now. It wasn't difficult. You can see two bolts in there holding this. Trying to inside here. Trying to show you where they're at. You can see those two bolts here down there. I have to get those off. Trying to figure out what I'm going to use to get them off. To detach these. I'm just showing you another bracket that's underneath here. That you have to disconnect. Hope you can see it. Trying to position it to where you can. That one right there. Right there. That one there. And it's on. These clips are underneath. I decided to, seemed like about the only way I could get them off was to break them off. They're holding this this radiator so I decided to just break these things off here. I'll go down the street to Advanced Auto Parts or Raleigh or AutoZone. There's also a Napa, all of them about 1/4 mile down the street. And I can see if they have some more. There is also 2 pieces here. I'm going to try to guide you. See if you can see it. There's 2 pieces in here. There's 1 piece here, I mean, on each side. See this part here? I'm trying to, a different part. I'm trying to go to a different area where you can see it, where it has to come loose, where the radiator attaches itself. Trying to, yeah, it's right in there, and I'm using a little ratchet here with a wrench here to try to get that little bolt out of there. It's inside there, pretty tight. So what I have a little 8 on there, metric on there, and also there's another one on this side here that's in there, where this has to detach itself. Well, it's not like it's going to detach itself, I have to detach it. The hard part is trying to figure out what tool to use in there. It's like you have to get creative to get some of this stuff out of here. It's like, let me see. I don't know if you can see it. I have to use this because it's real tight in there. Like I said, right up here, and over here. At the top here. It seems hard to get to that nut right there to get this line apart. Try different tools and get to it, but it seems hard to access. I tried the crowfoot, but around here it's round, and so it's hard for me to get this part in there to grip it. So what I'm doing here, I'm let me see, where am I? Right here. I'm cutting this to make this flat on both sides so it can make it easy for me to access. So I'm using my battery operated Dremel. So I'm going to use this. hopefully that'll do it, and I'm gonna cut the other side to make that flat also. The difficult part I find that for removing this this fan shroud is this piece down here, trying to put even trying to put a crowfoot down there where you have this plastic piece there that's right around that that nut there, and it seems like it's hard for me to put anything around it. I cut a crowfoot using my Dremel tool. I don't know if you can see this. I cut it. It had no problem cutting a crowfoot so it can fit under there, but I guess because of the design of the crowfoot, it kept slipping off. So I'm using this part here, this attachment that goes to my Dremel tool. It's a long hose like, and hopefully I can get this in there, this part in there, and I can cut around there, so maybe I can fit a crowfoot or something. And this is the part that I'm using for it, just in case you want to know. I got part of it. Now I have to see how I can get in here. I'm gonna start cutting part of the top of it. Well, I took quite a bit of that plastic off around there, enough to put crowfoot on it. I was hoping I wouldn't have to take this fan shroud out, but I'm gonna have to. I tried removing the radiator with it in there, but it kept bumping. Part of it kept bumping against it. So the difficult part I find with this is this hydraulic line here. The instructions, when I read in the manuals, it tells me to take the nut off there. There's a nut down there at the bottom, as you can see. What I have to do, there's parts of the plastic there that I had to cut from around that nut, because when I tried to put different tools around there, it kept bumping around that plastic. And so what I had to do, I had to use this Dremel tool that I got, and I had to use this and another tool to cut around it, just to get to that part. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this crowfoot here to have a solid grip around it. I tried a different crowfoot, one without these edges here. That was, your normal type of crowfoot, but it seemed to keep slipping from around it. So I decided I'm going to use this here, and I'm going to remove this hose down here so I can have more room to get to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect this part here, because when I'm removing this bottom hose here, I do not want this part here shaking. I do not want to damage this part, because I remember a few years ago, this part somehow it came unscrewed and it came out, and I went to the salvage yards and I couldn't find one to go back in here. And this whole piece right here, the dealers didn't sell it by itself, so I had to pay $250 for this whole piece right here. This is one piece. So just because this part came out, I had to pay $250. So I don't like anything that would have the probability of damaging this. So like I said, to have access down here, I want to remove this out of the way, but I want to make sure I disconnect this, so when I'm moving this around, this part here isn't being affected. To get this crowfoot around here, around this, I had to cut much of this plastic that was around this, and like I said, to get any kind of tool around there, it kept bumping against the plastic. The plastic part of that trout was in the way, so I decided to, like I said, to use my tool here to just, like I said, just use this. And I had another piece too that I used to just go underneath there and cut, and then I had to go on the side here, different places, and cut around there. This is how I loosened this bolt here. Like I said, I got a 18 metric crowfoot down there. I got it loose that way. I used a little extension here for it. So it wasn't hard to come loose. Once I was able to get it in there, like I said, I had to cut all that stuff around it. You could see all this plastic. Otherwise, I couldn't find any tool that would be able to get around it that was even close to getting around that that nut there. I just unscrewed this nut from here. You can see down here. I should have drained that down there. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty tight in there. Like I said, I have to cut that plastic from around there and keep turning this thing. Of course, you would be turning this way. So I had to keep turning this. I know it says something about a seal. Check the seal on this. And I am wondering if this little piece here is the seal that I'm supposed to check. Have AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, O'Reilly's, and Apple. They're just about half a mile down the street. All of them together. So I'll probably drive there and see if they have a seal for this. But that's a tight area there. I just got this fan part of this out of here. Just have to disconnect this right there. This wasn't no problem to disconnect from the side here. And you can see in there how that bolt that I had difficulty with screws way in there. So it took a lot of turning, especially when I had to keep turning a crowfoot there. It'd be nice if that piece wasn't in a way where I just had a socket and I could just turn it like that. So this part here, it was, when I was pulling it out, it was bumping against this part here, so I had to keep wiggling it so it can finally come from around there. Because at first I was thinking, well, I might have to disconnect part of this from here, different things like that. Then I just continued to wiggle it till it just came from around there, because otherwise it was just bumping up, bumping from underneath there. You can see right in here, I had to cut all of this with that Dremel tool because the plastic was coming all up to here. So it was coming up around here, where every time I try to put any little tool here, it'll go in so far and it'll hit up against the plastic that was all in here. So I'm glad I bought the Dremel tool about 2 years ago for other things. That's why I try to keep so many different types of tools, because sometimes you have to use so many different types of tools that you didn't expect to use when you're dealing with something that should be simple. So therefore it was very helpful in me cutting this. Otherwise I don't know how I would have cut the thing, because there's no way, I don't think you can put some kind of other like scissor type tool to be able to get in there to cut it. And so I'm glad I had that hose attachment for my Dremel tool to be able to get in there and to reach down in there and cut in here. And then I had to go from underneath here and cut all in here. And so that's what helped me to be able to get that crowfoot in there. Disconnecting this hose here, mosquito, at the bottom here, and just to show you some of these hoses that I disconnected just to give me some room. Disconnected this part here. Where the thermostat goes here. The bottom part of it also. Both parts. Seems like a better view without me shining the light on it. Like I said, the thermostat part, I disconnected both of these hoses just to give me some space to work with there. And this part here, of course, that goes to the radiator. Here, and like I said, I'm also working on this bottom one right there to get that loose. There's some little bolts in here that I have to disconnect. One is trying to show you where it's at. I have a little wrench on it. There it is right there. Have to squeeze it in there between here and the radiator. Maybe the lighter. Sometimes I guess the lighter interfere with it, with the vision. With your vision. It's like I have to squeeze this little sucker in there, but I have room to play with since I moved the fan, and then in between here I could move this some and squeeze this in here. This is a 8 here, 8 metric. So I have one right here that's trying to show you. Yeah, it's way down there. Well, it's right there. So hopefully after I disconnect this, it'll be able to come out of there. And there's one on this side, but that's already disconnected. Pretty tight in there. I'm planning on taking, I'm at the bottom of the car, planning on taking this part off here. And there's one up here and one on the other side. I'm going to loosen this to take this off, because my intent is once I pull this down here, then right up here is where it gives me a problem. It doesn't want to come off of there. See that? So it needs space to slide off of there. So I want to take this off, because this part here, let me position myself where you can see. because this part here is bumping against this when I try to slide it forward. See that? So hopefully when I slide it forward, when I take that part off, this will be able to slide far enough where it gets off here and drops down. By me moving that piece out of the way, you can see that this is ready to slide off. So I hope it causes no problem. This part here, the front part, I put a little bungee cord there. I don't want the whole thing to drop on me. But my main thing is trying to get this radiator out of here. And so, like I said, just taking off this plastic piece so there'll be room up here, and just get this to slide off and drop down. Well, I just don't want it to drop down. I want to pull it down. I don't want it to damage anything. It's coming out of there slowly. Have to keep going around certain hoses. You got to take your time getting it out, and when it's held up, just have to look at what's holding it up, and just going from one side to another to it gradually just come out of there. I might have to jack the car up farther, because you can see it down there. Finally got it out from the bottom. The thing that made the difference was taking out this piece here from the bottom in order to take it out. And then once that piece came out, just had to swing the bottom some and just work my way out of there.